Hey everybody, welcome to the buy list. This is episode 86.
I gotta find stuff to throw. This is not financial advice. This is cardboard, baby.
Oh, dude, that's what this podcast has reduced to, huh? Just like look in the other direction, tell me you're ready. God, Nate.
Dude, I'm
All
easily
right.
distracted, Ted. I don't know why you gotta act like you don't know this already. I was like, ooh, shiny.
Anyways,
I was looking at
yes,
my
yes.
riches of Topodani.
Ooh, very nice, very nice.
Yes, yes.
How was your week in Flesh and Blood?
Dude, good, good. Uh, I've been really I doing the Armory Deck challenge with Gravy. Man, I love playing this hero. I'm
It's fun.
maybe I'll post it in like the in the Discord. I'm slowly bringing the hero out because I would both have to file for bankruptcy and divorce if I did it all at once.
Yeah.
Um, but I'm like able to like slowly make it happen. So I got a pretty good chunk left or good chunk done.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for a couple odds and ends to come through. So but yeah, it's been great. What about you, Teddy?
So I've been doing the same thing, and I am close to bankruptcy actually, because I have all the playable gravy gold foils now.
Yeah,
Well, I don't have them in possession, but Hamel just took more of my money. It's I'm sorry, Hamel, for all the shipping costs. It's in like four different times because I'm gonna gold these out and then run rainbow foils. And then like 2 days later, I'm like, you know what? Ship it. I need the golds. Like, what am I doing?
yeah,
Like, yeah, just go ahead. Ship me some of those too. So I've been doing that. My Marvel situation's not great on the old gravy bones though. I got Swabby figured out. I need a couple rigor mortises, and I need the big dogs still. I got one chum, but I need
same.
three whalers and two chum, and I'm like, ugh, those are, we're just chilling on those for right now though.
I'm just gonna justify not running Whaler by just not having the Marvel. I think that's what I'm gonna do. Like, I'm just gonna be like, I don't need it. Who needs the big dog?
Dude, he's like my favorite card in the set, so it's just like he's got to be in the deck. But you are correct. This deck is a ton of fun to play. Dude, you're just doing all the things. You're like cracking gold. You're like drawing cards, turning cards sideways, tapping everything, throwing things in the yard, then playing them. Dude, it's like next level mechanics like on your side of the board, just like always moving your hands around doing things.
Yeah,
And then the decision trees are like infinitely long because it's just like you got three paths when you look at your hand, then you tap your compass, then those three paths branch into like three new paths
yeah,
because you see the top card of your deck.
yeah.
Then you draw that card, then you crack a gold, and like three paths turn into like nine more paths, and you're like, I don't know. I could be like neg value right now, but we're just playing the first one because there's eight other paths to take, and I don't know which one's good anymore. Like,
Dude, that's what it like.
it's crazy.
That's what it feels like, though. It feels like you can do everything, and like you could probably take about 15 game actions and
Yeah,
accrue zero value. Or you could take 15 game actions and like play two allies, present 27 damage, and arsenal a
yeah,
card. And it's just like,
yeah, yeah,
what? And your opponent have like this card. I don't even know. It's just like,
yeah. It's
it's,
insane.
yes, it is. It is a lot of fun to play. I will have to. Michael Net does not watch. I know he doesn't, and if he does, he can comment.
He ain't
But
got time for that,
I
dude.
know we're Fang lifers here. The original
Yes.
Fang, even though it's pronounced Fung, which I learned like halfway through our friendship. But we were talking in Vegas, and he's like, it's just the thing that he's like, it's the thing that reminds me the most of Chain, and it brings me joy. And I was like, "What are you talking about? You get like one action a turn. You like, there's nothing about this that screams chain. You don't have a combat chain that's
Yeah.
20 wide and you just dealt a billion damage. And you don't have carrion husk. You have like no armor to speak of, actually."
Yeah.
And then I played the deck and I was like,
Yeah.
"It feels
Yeah,
like
dude.
chain."
Yeah. Yeah, it's like the outcome isn't 35 damage, three times a game with like Art of War, like
Yeah.
Chain was, because he was like busted. But it's like you get to do the go again attack, conquer the high seas, swing an ally a couple times a game if you're lucky, or at least once. And it's like golf, right? I think I've said this before with like Florian, maybe, because they've been doing this with heroes where it just feels so satisfying to do your thing, but you're still kind of fair. Right, like Chain was like super satisfying, but it was super unfair, and that's why it was like part of the juice, to that, but like Gravy, you're doing the fair thing, but it feels amazing because you just like hit that chip from like 90 yards and put it within like 2 feet, and you're like, yes, because it makes you forget like the three turns before where you're like, oops, all allies, this is butt, I hate life. It's just like, but I just did the command and conquer thing, and then like did 8 go again into 6 into 3, and it was amazing.
Yep.
So yeah, it's just like they keep putting out these heroes that are just mechanically fun to sit there and like move the cards around, and are powerful enough and fair, which is like, man, kudos. Like it's like, it's got to be really hard to do that. Keep pulling this off, but keep going, guys.
Yeah.
You guys are on a heater right now, LSS.
Yeah.
Holy smokes!
Absolutely. Now, to all the chronic criers in the audience, who are like, ban Call to the Grave, ban Tipple, ban Gravy the hero card. I don't know. Put Blanche in your deck. Like, I don't know. Blow up his compass. Gravy has so many like just absolutely just hard counters in just
Oh
like
yeah,
an
dude.
absolute range of. Also, have you considered when he doesn't have Chum on the board, just hitting him in the face?
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
repeatedly hit him in the face. And that like he can have 5 allies on the board. That's fine. Because again, he's very action point negated. So like him
Yeah,
having
yeah,
5 allies, he's only gonna be able to attack with one of them. Maybe
yeah.
two. But like just hit him in the head a lot.
Yeah. There's definitely and me playing against them, people playing against me, there is definitely a learned like problem when you see this hero, when you're playing against it or you're playing with it, that like, oh, this is an illusionist. If I don't kill this thing instantly, I will die. Like that's what illusionist has been in this game
Yeah.
forever.
Yeah.
Gravy is not that.
No.
You can just punch him in the face till he goes to sleep. Like you can put him in the dirt way easier than you think. And I think like the Fab community is gonna figure that out. It might take a month or two, but like, yeah, it's this learned thing where like I think you're just like, oh my god, I see Genesis, I have to kill Genesis, or I have to kill Angel. It's just like, no, it's like you can get away with some like, you can get away, like you said, if it's not Chum currently, if it's not Chum, you can almost just be like, I'll just clear one and then punch you, or you know what I mean, and it's and you just like keep wearing them down to a point where it's just like now they have to block and then game's over.
Yeah. Yeah. It is like quite funny. I think that like that you notice he Gravy very much has that Dromai syndrome too, where it's like
Yeah,
everyone's like, "Oh, but Gravy," and it's like he hasn't won anything besides the Michaels. But the Michaels are OP, so
yeah,
like
yeah.
they don't count as real humans. They're broken, and no wonder they both met in the finals and took down Houston on the exact same list because they're half man, half machine on the cover of a magazine. I think I just got us DMCA'd. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Dang it. But yeah, I think there's just some like it's not. I don't want to call them bad habits, but I think there's just some habits of like a little bit of like, oh, I have to clear allies every turn. Like you'd have to clear dragon, right? You have to clear auras. It's like it's really not. They've done a good job of making him feel like an illusionist, doing all the fun stuff, but quite fair,
Yeah.
which is really cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't. Yeah, I'm like puffing up LSS quite a bit here, but I just think he is a very cool hero, one of the coolest to come out, in Flesh and Blood in a long time.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I'm playing them too. I'm trying to bling them out. You know, going bankrupt. Like, might be on a street corner. Like, if I keep going at this pace. But Nate, I refuse to buy gold Conquerors of the Seas. I refuse.
Well, yeah.
That's where I cut the line off. I will not have 3 of those in my deck.
I've already like relegated myself to only owning the Rainbow Foil EAs.
Yeah. I've told myself that too. Definitely.
It's the same thing with Call of the Grave. I'm not paying $800 for like a playset of EA Call of the Graves. I will just use Rainbow Foils. It's fine.
You know, if you listen to the Market Minute like a couple months ago, 6 months ago, I might have helped you out there, bud. I got my playset for a very affordable amount. So I do have those, and they're quite nice.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. I'm just gonna I'm just gonna do cold foils. I'm not gonna do the rainbow foils.
There you go. That's definitely a rule. That's definitely a rule that you can impose on yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely picked up. I picked up 2 extended art give no quarters from SEG. Shout out to SEG for $25 a pop on release. Thanks SEG. And I recently sold them for $200 a pop. And you know, I'm just okay playing non-foil give no quarters. And honestly, I'll find. You know what? I'm gonna find a way to cut that card too. Because I'm just like,
there you go. You know, this card isn't even that good. I don't even know why people play it.
It's like bad chart the high seas when you think about it.
Yeah, you can definitely just replace that with like a gold, you know, that no one's playing, gold foil for sure.
For sure.
Yeah. Star City got rope-a-doped there a little bit on the give no quarters. Yeah. But you got to stay on your toes out there, folks. You never know what else this is going to do in their next set. Sometimes they'll do 3 versions of a card. Sometimes they'll do 2. Sometimes they'll be EA. And sometimes you'll get like Minute Maid, just fresh squeezed orange juice. Full glass there, dude. Full glass.
Last set, did they do no RFs on some of them or no?
I kind of checked out of the hunted. Like, I know in Rosetta, right? You have Call to the Graves that are EAs and then EAs and then Rainbow Foils, right? I don't know what is there hunts in? Yeah, there's hunts in Rainbow Foils.
Is there? Okay.
And then EAs.
Yeah, I know Provoke and Loyalty Beyond the Grave and Ignite. Yeah, I don't think they did it last time, but they did do it a little bit in Rosetta. With this Sajali.
That's true.
Of Brilliance. So it'll be. I
think it was like a Marvel thing, right? They wanted Marvels or non-foils, and then now this is new where they went only Rainbow Foil EA if there's a special treatment, right?
Yeah.
Because King Kraken is also EA, but it has a paragraph of text on it, so they can't do the micro text box, unfortunately.
Palantir and the 2 King Harpoons. Both.
Yeah, it's like across the board, isn't it?
Yeah.
That they only went 2 versions on this set. Cool. Very it makes things very collectible.
Yes.
That's for
sure. For sure.
Which is cool.
But yes.
That's cool for those. All right, Nate. Well, I guess speaking of that, since we've went a little bit off the rails here, we did want to talk a little bit about the check-in on the high seas.
Yeah.
And just like the market, and it's been a couple weeks. We saw some Nats going out. I think I'll give you my overarching thoughts right now. I think that the 2 heroes are being a little bit slept on. I think Fab is very much, we've said this over and over again, it's very much a like what's hot is what's being played. And like I am a little shocked that Puffin and Marlin are just not being played. Like we're just not on the board, like, or just very low numbers. I mean, I think Puffin shows up a little bit, but just and Gravy kind of feels like he's warping the market almost. Where like he's not warping the meta because he hasn't really won much, like you mentioned, but like the market definitely feels like really skewed by him. And I don't think I've seen this before in Fab, unless you can enlighten me. But it's kind of crazy.
It's no, it's I don't know if Marlin's bad, but that's like there's literally no reason to play Marlin when Azalea exists. Is the
Yeah,
kind of one of the issues right now. Um, but Puffin is like I took Puffin the Nationals. I think
yeah,
Puffin's a
yeah. You're a
great deck.
believer. Yeah,
Um, and I think like I think everyone is so focused on Gravy because of how powerful it is.
hmm,
And everyone's trying to like break it and be like, if I can figure out the perfect deck, then I will have the best deck for Singapore. And I think Gravy has the best shot of doing that.
yeah,
But Gravy is so targetable. Um, maybe like I don't know, maybe we do like a Puffin deck. I think there's people like
yeah,
kind of working on Puffin, but not really.
yeah. Card guys are doing like multiple live streams playing Puffin. So I mean, you obviously, like you said, took her to Nats. There's something there, right? The card guys are not just gonna stream like, Nathan is not just gonna sit there and stream
Great
Puffin
name.
for no, huh?
Great name, Nathan.
Yeah, yeah, great name. 10 out of 10, no notes, eh?
Yeah. No, that's for me. Good job, Nathan.
Yeah, the I don't think that team's just gonna sit there and put out that content and not like have anything behind it, right? They're not just out there tooling around. Like every minute counts for those guys, right? They're a pro team. So, that's a good sign. I would like to see her cards start moving, but I think people are just sleeping a little bit. I mean, some of her cards are expensive, or like not expensive, but like a fair price. Because there's definitely some Majestics that are just like, ee.
The fact that Cogworks Dovetail is like literally $1 is like blows my mind. And
Yeah.
I do wonder if I don't think we've seen it to this degree. Well, actually, I think Uprising actually might be a good um, facsimile. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I do,
Facility.
but we ate that smart around here, bro. You had to just go with comparison there,
Yeah,
dude. Just stick to the words we know,
yeah,
dude.
dude. I don't listen. I ain't that smart. So, sorry for trying
A
to sound smart.
facsimile?
Facsimile? Yeah, something like that. Someone's definitely gonna comment on it.
Oh, dude,
Like
yeah. We're
I just
gonna
angered the grammar police. That is for sure. Um, because you have Dromai, Phi, and Icelander, and everyone just like lost their marbles for Dromai.
yeah.
And while Phi was the best deck, clearly, and
Yeah.
Icelander was also very good, it was
Yeah.
just like Dromai. I feel like that's kind of like Gravy is just kind of like sucked the oxygen out of the
Yeah.
room for the other two decks. So there's like not, but people were still working on Icelander and Phi. It feels like no one even wants to talk about Puffin or uh, I forgot the other one, the bad one, Marlin, whatever her name is. Um, it because it feels like Uprising, but like 5x, right? Like
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Gravy is just like
I mean, it's like you said, your armory might become like oops all gravy. Well, spoiler alert, my local scene is very much like I said, I just went to an armory last week and I was just like I almost played Verdance because I was like, man, I don't want to play gravy mirrors all night. I played gravy, played two gravies and a fang, right? And I was just like, dang man, there's a lot. It's just so many gravies.
Did you say you almost played Verdance?
Yeah, dude.
There's
I'm gonna
no
play some
shot. You don't know
Verdance.
what half of those cards do. Any card that says Wizard on the bottom, you're just like, block 3. Like, you don't know what
It's
those cards
kind
do,
of
buddy.
it's kind of like Rune Chance.
No, it's not even close. You're trying to actually gaslight everybody
Bro,
out here into thinking you know what Wizard cards do.
bro, I can read cards, man. I can do it. It's like Florian, but like not bad right now. So
That's true. You probably play Channel Mount Heroic in that because it means you have to play
I
less
should probably
Wizard
check.
cards.
Yeah, I should check that. Oh man. But yeah, dude. I mean, it's just like, yeah, like you said, sucking all the air out of the room at the moment. For the reason that we started out the podcast, right? He's just fun as hell to play. His cards are cool. He's a very cool pirate. The theme is amazing. It's just like, yeah, like, just like full on home run. But it will be interesting to see how this market reacts because, like you said, like Dovetail, Buck, Palantir is like not a dollar. I think it's like $10 to $15 right now. I
Yep.
feel like that card's like a 3 of in every puffin deck. If she becomes really good, I could see that card going up. Right? It's just and what's crazy is that there's like a lot of powerful, there's powerful pirate cards too that will just go into a puffin deck as well. Maybe not the ones that interact with yellows as much because maybe Puffin doesn't play yellows, but like,
Yeah.
I mean, Tip the Barkeep is a blue block 3 that gives you go again when like sometimes maybe you don't have a cog that gives you go again. So, like, are you gonna say no to a Gold Kiss Rum? Probably not. Like,
Yeah.
you know, so on and so forth. And yeah, so I'm gonna keep looking at it. I think we're gonna keep talking about it.
Yeah.
And I will be, we'll chat about it here. Keep an eye on it, see how it goes, because kind of new territory here, and keep an eye on it. I think overall, pretty successful launch. A couple weeks out, the set's holding value. Boxes are still quite expensive. 126, I think, the last time I looked on CCG Player. Gold packs, man. Oh man, turns out gold packs are a success on the terms of like keeping box prices and keeping hype up for sealed product.
All right. I have a PSA, and maybe I shouldn't say this out loud on live airways. If you are paying $25 to $30 for a gold pack, y'all on crack cocaine. Like,
Dude, the
have a
last episode
problem.
you said if you're paying 30, so now we're at 25. It's
20
going down.
Dude,
Every episode you're like, if you're paying any money for a gold pack.
dude, so looking at like the gold pack hit rates, you are like 1 in 15 for a cold foil legendary ish. And guess what? There's one good cold foil legendary. Everything else, basically a fart in the wind. And there's one good cold foil M, and those are also probably close to like 1 in 15. Actually, should do the math on that instead of making up random numbers. But
Yeah.
we're too late. Nobody's listening. Brian's fast asleep, and like the gold foil M's pretty rare. Dude, your best hit is probably, and your most likely hit is probably a tipple. Like, that's the only way you're making money on those things.
Dude, actually, but I mean, yeah, I know what you're saying, and you're right. We talked about this the last episode a little bit too. Is that there's a lot of like, yellow stuff, right? HMS Marlins and stuff in there.
Bro, I opened a
But
divvy up in my prize pack. Dude, I
yeah,
couldn't even sell that to a squirrel, and I attached a nut to it.
dude, we are on fire tonight. This might be the earliest no one's listening. I looked up at the timer. 25 minutes in, you hit us with the no one's listening, bro. That's egregious.
Dude,
By the way.
that's when I'm getting feisty. Is when I excuse
Damn, dude,
my
25
feistiness
minutes
with like
in.
10. No one's listening. I can speak my mind at this point.
Oh man. But yeah, I mean, yeah, like I said, gold packs. But I think my statement still holds true. We've never seen a box hold 120s before
No,
this far out.
Gold packs are great. Y'all are fiends. You should seek
Yeah.
help if you're buying at
Dude,
30 bucks.
Yeah, the fab community in general is like needs to see that Michael Jordan meme. It's like stop, get help.
Yes. You ain't getting your money back there. I can tell you that right now. Just go buy some boxes. That's like, go buy boxes.
Yeah,
I don't.
Yeah, you're more. Yeah, for sure. We'll see how that goes. But that's not all the news this week, Nate. We also got a little spoiler It'll be tomorrow because this is coming out. Yeah, I know words.
Good job, buddy.
we got we got a pretty cryptic little teaser for 7-1, and it was just the word suspense 7-1-25. And this channel had a little I had a little breakdown of it, but I wanted to talk to Nate about it. Nate's got some thoughts on it.
I got some
I think
spicy
it's
takes.
I think it's I think we can both agree that right off the bat that this is a keyword. The font checks out. I zoomed in 3x, 4x. The font works. The background of the card works. It's all there. It's all there. So we got a new keyword coming.
Yeah.
And the timing puts us at probably this being the next set announcement. Or at least like a trailer or something, right? Like, you know, they did the High Seas trailer, Nate, where it was just the back of like a ship on an ocean, and it was like obviously, okay, high seas pirates are coming.
Yeah.
Maybe we get something like that.
Yeah. What do you want? Like, as the Oracle, I can just tell you guys what we're getting.
Oh, man.
So, all right, we're
Hit
gonna
us with
look.
the
We're
Oracle.
gonna use our investigative skills. Now, if you look at Gem Pack 1, very Volcor-esque. If you look at these gem packs, blue like the sea, and now we have gem packs that are split between kind of like a dark purple and like a bright red. Now, even before recording, Theodore was kind enough to confirm even more why this is the case. And it's because,
You just admitted on this podcast that you just didn't watch a video on this channel, bro. I need better support from my
dude,
co-host.
I watch the first 5 seconds,
You
I
just
hit the
said
like button, and then I usually forget about it and don't watch it later.
you just said it out loud, dude. Wow. Anyways, in that video, I explained, and this is the crazy part. Sorry to cut you off. Since you
Yeah,
didn't watch the video, I got to catch you up here.
take the mic, Teddy.
So here's the thing is that, like, I even fell into this trap myself, Nate. I always visioned Solana as a bright yellow, as a prism themed, gold, yada, 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 right? But in my spoiler breakdown video, it turns out, and this is where I got my first clue, Nate. We'll dive in a little bit deeper. I didn't even mention this in the other video. I was thinking about this, and it was in my Discord. I was like, man, there's purple on the one side. This is Gym Pack 3. Why is it red? And I was, you know, people are like, oh, maybe it's chaos, maybe it's this. And I was like, and it hit me. I was like, remember the mat art for Solana where it's in the courtyard, it has all those people walking around? I was like, some of those dudes had red capes on and they were Solana warriors. I was like, huh. And so I shared that. And someone else pointed out to me, shout out Discord, Skippy. He points out, he goes and searched the keyword banner or searched the word banneret in February. All the bannerets show up. Guess what? Every card art that has banneret in the name has a deep red banner. Every warrior has a deep red banner and it has gold inlay in it. What's the half of that pack? Deep red. And if you look closely, there is some gold sprinkled in that half as well. So my theory was we're going to Monarch 3 and finishing up the finale of the Solano, the Monastery War. So now I can hand it back to you because that was the gist of my video.
So the
Man,
reason I don't watch any of Ted's videos is because I usually get his videos DM'd to me before he records them. To be very clear, I usually
that's true.
I usually like and watch the first 10 seconds, and then I peace out. But all right, so I have multiple theories here. In my theories, I mean truths because they're 100% accurate.
Oracle, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
remember Oracle, whole thing. All right, so we're getting the Prism Viscerai like LL Armory decks, which is like kind of weird, right? No
Yeah,
one
a little
asked for
bit.
LL Armory decks.
Especially not of those two, to
No,
be honest.
no. But it's kind of coinciding like before the release of the next set. And it's because Viscerai is returning as a Shadow Runeblade. And
Yeah.
Prism, we're getting Prism 3. obviously.
Oh my god, dude! I did not agree to this take. You should have told me this before
No,
we hit the
I
record
literally,
button.
it literally came to me in a vision. So that's fact one. Fact two,
All
obviously.
those people waiting for Dromai are gonna be cooked if that's true.
All right, so my thoughts on suspense. So suspense
Yeah.
is going to be a mechanic that I think both players can interact with, and it's going to be like there's going to be like suspense counters, and each turn they can tick down, and it will like banish a card off the top that then you could play. But both players can interact with these types of suspense counters in like you can pay into them, where like your opponent can pay to increase the suspense counters because like I don't want any of that smoke. You keep that,
Mm-hmm.
and you can pay to decrease some of your suspense counters. And it's gonna be part of the new Shadow Necromancer mechanic that allows like you have no idea what ally is about to like pop up, but like surprise, you get in little goblin
Hmm.
when the suspense counters tick down.
Interesting.
That's my
I
other
like
thought.
it. Engagement's fun. Like obviously we're all playing with Treasure Island right now. So like I think that's a very cool prediction because that's like little mini Treasure Islands, you know,
Yeah,
where you're like interacting and trying to make a like you're trying to make something happen while they're trying to like maybe stop it. And it's like kind of and it could be like almost like a kind of new way of blocking, right? Like if the card is like when it suspense counters turned, you know, when this has no suspense counters, flip it over and it does a thing. Maybe it's like legit like okay, instead of like blocking with my cards or playing my cards, I just have to keep the suspense counters up on this card.
yeah.
Like it's just too much to handle right now, or it gets to a point. Yeah, that's a lot of tension, dude. Like however they do it, that would be super cool if that's what it was.
Because you think about like how they've like how well received like the limited gameplay of like Treasure Island of this back and forth of you and your opponent kind of like this tug of war over this one resource, like inlaying
Yeah.
that into just general gameplay would be super sick. So
Yeah.
I think that suspense is a mechanic that both players can interact with. And if I'm right, LSS, you owe us a spoiler.
Yeah. Yeah,
Sorry, I don't make the
we gotta
rules
figure
here. I just know everything. So thank you, James White, in advance for our sixth spoiler.
yeah. Um, yeah, that would be super cool. I think we got to check in with Carol to see if this is his favorite limited set ever.
It's
To like really
guaranteed to be his
confirm.
favorite limited set ever.
I mean, we might get, you know, wait, actually no, every set is. Oh, damn. That's not an indicator. Sorry, Carol, we love you. Um, yeah, that would be super cool. You're also right about Shadow Viscerai. You can't just go tooling around in Irathiel. Just like he's just hanging out in there for like ever, like the last couple sets, like last couple card arts,
Yeah,
bro. There's bad things in there. Like I mentioned, Chain literally became bound to Shadow because he went into Irathiel.
yeah,
So Viscerai as a Shadow Runeblade. Oh, that's Chef's Kiss, dude.
yeah,
Give me.
yeah.
Yeah, I think if it really is the finale, Nate, and there's like suspense aside, which I think can be very cool. Dude, that is like 3 crazy sets this year. That is a hell of a 2025. That's like golf clap LSS.
Do we
Fully
know when the
curveballing
set is
us.
dropping?
Yeah, it's middle of September
Is it mid
because the
September?
world premiere is like first or second week of September, I think.
Does that mean that Battle Hardened in Chicago is like the premiere weekend?
I'm sure it's timed out properly. They definitely don't just like drop events on top of releases and stuff.
Yeah, they do. They always do a release weekend event.
I know. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Battle Harden's great. That's a great time
Yeah,
to do
yeah,
this
yeah.
kind of
That's
stuff.
much different than US Nats.
Yes, yes, significantly different than US Nats. Dude,
We can laugh about it because we're through it now. It's over.
I'd be so excited if it was
Yeah.
back to the
Just
mountain.
come to Montreal with me, dude. Come on. What are
Dude,
you
there's
doing?
literally no shot. There's literally no
It's a
shot.
2 hour flight. Get on the plane. Let's go.
N- I have a family vacation the month after, and I'm like already out of PTO.
Oh.
I know.
I don't know. Quit your job then.
Nah, ain't happening.
Yeah, yeah, no. That was a bit of a reach on my part. Um, so yeah, it was unreasonable.
Yes,
I'll admit it. I'll
slightly
admit it.
unreasonable. That's fine.
But yeah, no, I'm glad we caught you up on what's going on with Suspense and what we might get on Tuesday, Nate. Thanks. Now you got the viewers got to get caught up with you. That's very cool.
Yeah.
But I'm here for it. You know what? Honestly, like I have a vested interest in like it being Shadow Runeblade, Shadow Necromancer, Light Door. Oh, dude, Super Saiyan Dory's gonna be in this set too if it really is. Because remember, Morlock Hill, Minerva got eaten by a demon. I don't think she got eaten. Oh, dude, what if Minerva comes back as a Shadow Warrior and it's Shadow Warrior and Shadow Runeblade versus Dory? Dude, Minerva coming back as a Shadow Warrior would be epic.
Well, okay. Hear me out. We have three shadows, and Dory's the only light hero.
Oh, that would be cool. I don't know how that would balance out. That would take some. I don't know how that would work, but like, dude,
That'd be really
like,
interesting to try the balance in limited.
yeah, I think like like Light Dory will sell so many boxes. Dude, people will be
All of the
going
boxes will be
crazy.
sold.
All the boxes,
Yes.
dude, it'd be nuts, man. And then Shadow Viz on the flip side too of that. Oh my god, dude.
Shadow
Dude,
Necromancer.
yeah, yeah. I
If Gravy is any indication how Necromancer will sell,
dude,
infinite.
talk about bankrupt.
Dude, okay.
Yeah,
But like LSS is like really like keyed into like how to like sell boxes and make money. It's like so obvious that it's gonna be Shadow, like waifu, Necromancer, and
yeah. Dead
just
threads.
infinite money. Just
Yeah,
infinite money glitch. You put Dory in that set too. Oh my gosh! I don't. I think that actually might be like too much. Like LSS would be
too
like,
much. It's too much, dude.
dude, you thought Final Fantasy collector boxes were going freaking nuclear? Look out!
Yeah,
That
dude.
set would go nuclear with those two in it.
Yeah, it will be very interesting. I think you know, obviously for us old timers, like the Monarch arc is kind of like is the peak, I think, of like what Flesh and Blood, as far as like a lore side and like theme side,
Yeah,
it's kind of the thing we've been waiting for. You know, it was supposed to come out a while ago, then it got delayed to 2026, but now all of a sudden they're like dropping gym packs, which like I didn't even notice. I was in London, watched it happen, hit the screen, and I was just like, just didn't even pay attention to the theme of the gym pack. It was like, oh my god, it was so obvious. Everyone at LSS is probably laughing. They're like, dude, no one's talking about this. But yeah, dude, I'm here for it. It's gonna be super cool. It doesn't even like I think I started this thought 5 minutes ago, but even if it's Savage Lands or like I think Savage Lands is like a banger set too, just like waiting in the wings. But realistically, I think the gym pack is like a dead giveaway. So, and we need more Necromancer stuff because there's literally just gravy cards right now. It's like just Dead Threats is the only Necromancer card. So,
I was thinking about this the other day. You think about like how they've built out like the two new classes that they've released,
yeah,
and well, three new classes that they've released at this point, right? Illusionist, with Monarch. Did not
yeah,
see another illusionist until Dromai and Uprising.
mm-hmm.
And their card pools did not play nice together. But again, like
No,
Prism came with like a very complete kit.
yeah,
And then you had Assassin release in Dynasty. That was a very
incomplete kit.
incomplete kit. Outsiders again, still incomplete-ish,
Yeah.
and then New was busted because of MST. Um, and now Assassin is just like oops all majestic um, with the other two. So like, but Gravy came out. Gravy is a force to be reckoned with already. There,
Yeah.
he doesn't really need any more support.
That's true. He
It's
is
not like
like
they
almost like
need to do
ready built.
Necro again to make
That's true.
to like fulfill what they've promised the gamers of like competent necromancers. The Gravy's great. He doesn't need any more
Yeah.
cards. If he gets any more cards, he's going to be broken, and he's already bordering on that. So like, I'm less convinced now that they're going to hit Necromancer right away. I think they're going to try to do it where it makes
Yeah.
sense. But if they do, if they're going to Shadow, it 100% makes sense that they would do Necromancer there.
Yeah. I think my personal, yeah, I would love a Shadow Necromancer. I think, and like, if I could like make a wish, and this is
Fair.
kind of what I thought Necromancer was gonna be until we saw Gravy. I just want little chuds, dude. Like, give me a bunch of little zombies that I'm like raising up, you know. Like I know the Ashwing design is kind of problematic. Spectral Shield design was a little bit problematic as well, right? Where you can just like, oops, I raked and now I win the game situation. So they have to figure that out, and maybe it's really hard to do in Fab. But I would just love to have like little dudes that you're just like constantly like, they're just like expendable like zombies that you're like reanimating, like Solana warriors. You're just like bringing them back to life, and they're now on your side, right? I think that would be super cool. Again, I understand that like, you can't have like Rake the Embers. Like Rake the Embers was actually like broken, dude. Like that just like won you games when you probably shouldn't have. But yeah, that would be kind of my wish, is that we did like Shadow Necromancer was more of like a little dude army that you put out
Just a bunch
instead
of
of
little
like named
Skeletors.
heroes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
that'd be fun.
that I think that's probably like where they end up going is like different style of necromancers where Gravy's like you got your crew, you're trying to
Yeah,
put like your specific crew in play that you want for each matchup, um, which is very interesting. And then there's probably like little chud dudes.
yeah, dude. That'd be so cool. I just want like want little skeleton guys or like zombie guys on cards, cold foils, and you're just like shuffling around.
Yeah.
Like, that'd be cool.
When we get our Savage Lands Necromancer, it's just like reanimating freaking barraging Brawn hides, and it's just like big
Oh yeah,
chunguses.
that'd be
It's just like
sick, dude.
only thicks here.
Dude, that'd be cool, man, if there was like a mix between like a druid and a necromancer, where like the Savage Land dudes like reanimate like dead like animals. Like he can like bring back animals and shit. That'd be really cool. Yeah, necromancer's sweet, dude. I just want all the necromancers. But yeah, that's pretty cool. I'm excited for 7-1. I will be going live on 7-1 like most Tuesdays, and we'll be able to chat with the chat, and it'll be exciting no matter what. So
100%.
I think that's gonna do it, Nate.
Yeah.
Like, subscribe, do the dues, guys. Thanks for listening. We'll check you next time.
Peace. Put your money where your mouth is.
There you go. You got
No one's listening. No one's listening. I gotta.